What is the Kobayashi Maru? The Kobayashi Maru is a scenario that exists in Star Trek to test Starfleet cadets with a no-win scenario. The goal of the exercise is to rescue a civilian vessel, the Kobayashi Maru, in a simulated battle with the Klingons. The disabled ship is located in the Klingon neutral zone, and if any Starfleet vessel enters the neutral zone, it could spark an international conflict. So the cadets have to decide, do I go into this neutral zone and risk starting an interstellar war, or to leave the Kobayashi Maru to die? If the cadets choose to attempt the rescue and enter the neutral zone, the simulation guarantees the cadet's ship will die. They will not win, they will not escape, they will not negotiate, they will not survive. It is over. Now, why would I want to give my players a situation where they're all going to die and there's no chance of success? Well, I like Captain Kirk. I don't believe in no-win scenarios.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
In reality, the situation will look impossible to your players. To them, it will be a Kobayashi Maru. However, whatever solution they come up with will be the absolute correct solution to solve the problem. Your players will feel like magical geniuses for coming up with a solution that you thought of while you were preparing this adventure. While your players will feel clever, you may not want to have the first solution work, or only partially work, so they don't catch on if you reuse this technique. In one of my recent sessions, I had the party fight a large serpent made entirely out of water that was engulfing them. The party quickly and correctly concluded conventional weapons would have no effect against it being made out of water. If you start hacking away at the... it's not going to do anything. It's made of water. Now, I could have made this a straight-up fight where they hack at the creature, give it some damage resistance because it's a water-based creature, but the situation becomes less engaging and interesting for everyone involved. So my players came up with multiple solutions. One, the half-dragon player decided, wait a minute, I can breathe fire. I'm just going to breathe fire on it, and it's going to go away. Well, I would have had that work, but he rolled poorly and didn't attempt it again, so that option was left by the wayside. Another player wanted to enchant their weapons with like sonic energy, so it would slice through the creature and then separate and not conjoin again. That also would have worked, but that person also rolled poorly on their check to cast a spell. Finally, the wizard attempted a radically dangerous spell, summoning a miniature tornado to rip into the water base and tear it apart, and it worked. The victory, my players felt, was sweet, and it felt good because they felt clever. They felt like they had come up with the solution. Were my players clever? Sure they were. I would have also accepted breathing fire and enchanting their weapons, but neither of those options in my mind were as impressive enough to instantaneously kill this creature like that tornado was. Plus, now they had to deal with an out-of-control tornado, so that kept the drama rolling. Now, beware not to make the situation oppressive. You don't want your players tossing up their hands in frustration saying, we'll never win, why bother, it's impossible. Make sure the scenario you present doesn't end with the entire party dead after a single bad roll or a single failed solution. Also, as I said before, don't overuse this technique. It'll probably get a little obvious if every single situation the players encounter are solved by the first thing they think of. You can help disguise this technique by changing the scale of the situation. One session, they're fighting a water spirit that seems to be unharmed by conventional weapons. The next, they're trying to defend a hamlet of poor defenseless farmers from 100 hobgoblins. Now in that scenario, I could think of several great solutions. The players could arm the farmers, teach them how to use their weapons and tactics, create a moat, fill it with fire, force the hobgoblins into a kill box. All of these solutions are great, and they give an epic feeling to the players. You want your players to go away from the table going, I can't believe we did that! How did we kill 100 hobgoblins? Or they go, we negotiated with 100 hobgoblins to keep these poor villagers alone. Players only really remember two types of experiences when they play role-playing games. They remember the times where they beat impossible odds, and they remember the times where the odds beat them. So I like to present my players with lots of opportunities where the odds seem impossible, but they still triumph. It gives them lots of great stories they can share with their friends and family. However, don't be afraid to have your players pay a price for their victory. But that's a topic that should probably have its own video. The point is to keep the game engaging. If you present your players with a no-win scenario, they'll be delighted when they win. What is the Koibot?